Here we are again, ready for another week of mindful stretching and movement. Today, we're going to be working on grounding ourselves into the earth, but we're also going to be working on balance. So, you can see here I have a block on the floor and a chair next to me. Know that when we get to the balance poses, you might need something nearby to stabilize you. You could also use a chair, a table, or a piece of furniture that you have near you. Don't worry about it too much. Just know that it's okay to use props in order to keep your body safe and allow you to do the stretches and have them feel good for your body. All right, wherever you are, go ahead and make sure, again, that you have personal space. You can put your two arms out to the side without touching anything, and that you can be able to lay down flat in a space. If you have a yoga mat, you're welcome to grab it. And if you don't, that's okay. Just take off your socks if you're wearing any so you can really make sure you can grip and hold onto the ground, because we'll need that too today when we get to our balancing poses. Wherever you are, go ahead and come to a seated position. Find a comfortable place for you. For me, it's always crisscross that's most comfortable. You can also sit on your knees, as I always offer. And we're going to start out by doing a new type of breathing called bumblebee breaths. I really like bumblebee breaths because there's something super calming about the vibrations and how they feel in your throat. Very similar to snake breath, we're going to need to use our tongue and push air through our teeth. But it's a little bit different than snake breath because instead of making the sound of a snake, we're going to think about right now the sound that a bumblebee makes when you hear it buzzing around. So that's the sound that we're going to be making. But when we make that sound, we want to try and have our face, lips, and mouth be as relaxed as possible so we can really feel the vibrations as in our throat and our face. It'll help you get extra relaxed. And in my case, I think it really feels cool. That's why this is one of my favorite breaths to do. Wherever you are, make sure you have a comfortable position. Pretend there's a magical imaginary string pulling from the top of your head and holding your spine or your back straight, your neck straight, and you're sitting up nice and straight. If you're feeling really energetic and like you need some calm, grounding energy, put your hands face down on your knees. If you're feeling slow and tired today and you need some energy, you can put your hands facing up. The choice is yours. But just start to draw awareness to your breath, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Sigh it out with me. Make a sigh sound. One more, in through your nose. And sigh out through your mouth. All right. This time we're going to take a deep breath in through our nose. But when we release it through our mouth, we're going to make that buzzing sound slowly. I don't want to let all my air out at once. I want to very slowly let it out so that buzz lasts as long as it possibly can. Ready? Breathe in through your nose. And buzz, bumblebees, buzz. Could you go longer than me? I hope you could. It was kind of fun and silly. Let's do a couple more together. Breathe deeply in through your nose. And bzz. Could you beat me that time? Last one. See if you can buzz for longer than me. In through your nose. And bzz. I really like how those vibrations make my face and cheeks feel relaxed afterwards. I hope you enjoyed doing bumblebee breaths too. Remember, just like I always tell you, any of these breaths can be used as tools in your toolkit for how to get your body calm and focused throughout the day. I know online learning can be hard, especially in small spaces cramped with our families. So if you feel your anxiety or anger start to rise, try bumblebee breath the next time. I'll bet you can't do it without smiling just a little. Okay, let's get into our poses today. They're mostly going to be standing poses, so let's come onto our feet. And for our first pose, we're going to get strong and tall like a mountain. We've probably done mountain pose together, but just in case you forgot, my feet are shoulder width distance apart. And I'm going to start to close my eyes and picture the most cool mountain that I have ever seen. Is it from a book? Is it from a picture? Have you seen it in real life? And as you picture that mountain, think about how strong it has to be to hold up everything on top of it. Dirt, trees, animals, people, roads, cars. There's so much that mountains do. And yet through it all, they remain stable and calm and strong, just like you. So if you haven't done so already, turn your palms so that they're facing outwards, forward. And go ahead and squeeze your belly button in so that you start to engage your core. You don't want your shoulders to be up by your ears. You want them to be down and away from your ears. And close your eyes. See if you can see that mountain in your mind. Something I always find interesting, even though I have both feet firmly planted on the floor, anytime I close my eyes in a pose like this, I feel my body start to move from side to side or forward to forward, forward to back. Balance is really tricky like that. And today, we're going to be really challenging our sense of balance. So it's good to notice. If you feel your body starting to move with your eyes closed, try and really focus on that strength and unmoving ability that mountains have. Spread every single toe apart and hold onto the mat or the ground as if they were your fingers instead of your toes. Because that stability at our base is what's going to allow us to do the rest of these poses today. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Open your eyes. Now that we've called in the strength and the stability of the mountain, let's move on. Our next pose is Warrior One, another pose that helps us call in our strength. I'm going to start, I'm turning to the side so you can see. Again, my feet are shoulder width distance apart. I step 1 foot forward, and I leave the other one so that it's facing at a diagonal towards the upper corner of my mat. I don't want it to be straight forward because that doesn't feel right for my body. I want my toes to be turned just slightly, and notice how I took a little step back. Now I'm going to see what foot I have in front. I'm going to bend that front knee. We talked about this last time we did Warrior, but in case you forgot, you don't want your knee to be all the way forward like this. See how my knee is farther forward than my toes? That's not very safe. When I look straight down, I want to be able to see my toes wiggling in front of my knee. That's how I know that my knee, if I drew a straight line from my knee to my ankle, it's in alignment. Now I'm going to think about my hips. I want you to try and pull your left hip forward and your right hip back, making sure you can still see your toes. And last but not least, bring your arms up and out to the sides. You might want to have your arms out farther because we talked about it last time, remember? We don't want to have our warrior be like this. See how my shoulders are really close to my ears? I'm going to bring my arms out so that my shoulders are down and away from my ears, creating that space. Breathe in. Think about the strong, peaceful warrior. Breathe out. The strength that they bring to their communities, the protection. We can be warriors of peace too. Breathe in through our nose and out. Now we're going to try the other side. So again, standing with your feet shoulder width distance apart. Step your opposite foot forward this time, the one you didn't do, and move your back foot back just a little so that it feels comfortable with your body. Make sure your toes are pointing in a diagonal line towards the front of your mat. And with your front knee, you want to go ahead and bend it so that you can see your toes in front of your knee when you look down. Now I focus on my hips. I want to bring my front hip back and my back hip forward so that they're more or less trying to come into a straight line. And breathe in, raise up your arms. Remembering to bring your shoulders down and away from your ears and focusing on the strength of the gentle warrior. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Sometimes our legs can get a little bit sore, and that's good because that means that we were not only stretching our muscles, but also helping them to start build strength. Now it's time to move on to one more strong warrior pose before we get into our balances. We're trying to call in all of our strength and our groundedness before we work on our balancing, because that's where it gets tricky. All right, for warrior 2, start with your feet together instead of shoulder width apart. Notice how they're closer together. And I'm going to try and jump them out. But when I jump out, I want to land as lightly as a mouse. Ready? And how lightly can you jump your feet out? Notice my toes are facing the same direction as my body. Now I'm going to identify my front foot, and I'm going to turn those toes so that they're facing towards the front of my mat. I'm going to bring my 2 arms to the side, and I'm going to try and squeeze my belly button so I engage my core, and I look out over my front hand, bending my front knee, making sure I can still see those toes over the front knee. Check your back arm. Is it where you thought, or is it way down below? If it was not where you thought, bring it up so that it's even with your front. And bring your gaze back over the front. Breathing in and out. In and out. One more deep breath in and out. Good job. Shake it out and come back to the middle. All right, just like we always talk about, we have to have that balance. So we did one side, now we have to do the other. Start with your 2 feet together, and again, we're trying to jump as lightly as possible so that our downstairs neighbors don't hear us, so that not even someone sitting right next to us would hear us. Bend your knees and picture it happen and go. All right, now turn your other foot towards the back of your mat. My back foot stays where it was. I'm going to bring my arms out to the side, bend my knee, and look over my left arm this time. Focusing on deep belly breaths, breathing in through my nose, and out, and in, and out. One more deep breath in, and out. All right, shake out one leg, shake out the other, shake out your arms. Now we've gotten ourselves all stabilized and grounded. Now let's practice some balance. This gets fun, but it can also be a little bit wobbly. If you feel yourself start to fall, make sure, if you've seen the Star Wars movies, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, you've probably heard someone talk about using the Force. Make sure you try and use your version of the Force. Rather than letting yourself fall, kaboom, as hard as you can on the floor, try and slow down time when you feel yourself start to fall. And choose how you land so that you land softly, without breaking anything around you, and without hurting your body. Our next pose, oh, sorry, I forgot. We have one more strengthening pose before we get to our balances. I was just so excited I got ahead of myself. Our next pose is gonna be triangle pose. So to do triangle pose, we're gonna start with our feet together, and we're gonna do one more light jump outward. Ready? Bend your knees and jump. All right. This time, I bring my arms to the side and my feet apart, like I'm a star. Now, I'm going to turn my front foot forward, just like I did in Warrior 2, and I'm going to bump my whole body forward and bend my front knee. I'm going to tip myself over like a teapot and form a triangle. Once I have myself in my triangle pose, I straighten out my bent knee. Can you see it? My triangle that I just made? Now I don't want to be down here with my body collapsed. If you find you need a block, you can use a block, or a piece of furniture near you. You can also gently put your hand on your calf or use your tummy muscles to hold yourself. And squeeze your tummy up to standing. Shake it out. Good job. All right, last one. Other side. Bend our knees and jump. Okay, arms out to the side to make a star pose. I turn my back foot towards the back of my mat. I bend my knees slightly. I bump my arms over, and then I tip myself over like the little teapot. Now that I'm tipped, I straighten my knee, and I want to shine my heart towards the ceiling. I don't want my chest to be collapsed like this. I want my heart twisted and open and shining my light towards the sky. Remember, you can always use a prop to help hold you if it's too hard for you to hold your own weight using your tummy muscles. And squeeze back up to standing, shake it out. All right, now we get to start with our balance poses. Our first one is going to be airplane. So come so that you're facing the top of your mat. If you need to be near your couch or your chair or your block, now is the time that you would do that. And I'm gonna set my block up over here in case I need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand on, I'm going to stand with my feet apart in a triangle pose. On 3, I'm going to send my body forward so that I'm balancing on my one foot. Hard to do and talk. Notice how I needed my prop. And then I want to bring my back foot up as straight as possible. And once I feel stable, one hand at a time, I let go of my prop and I try and fly. Woo! If my airplane tips over, I just go ahead and launch myself again. So back, one foot back, the other foot firmly planted. In 3, 2, 1, lift off. Gently push yourself forward. Bring your arms to your side, palms facing down, and see how long you can fly. Great work. Was it trickier than you thought or easier? I like flying, but sometimes it can be kind of frustrating if you're not ready to feel yourself lose your balance. All right, just like always, other side. This one I'm gonna model with my block and hopefully I don't fall. So I start facing the back of my mat with my opposite foot forward. Ready? On 3, I'm going to push myself off slowly and see if I can get my balance and fly. In 1, 2, and 3. Oh, look at that. Sometimes it's easier to find your balance on one side than the other. In 3, 2, 1, and bring it in for a soft landing. Whew, that was tricky. So, just for fun, we're gonna give ourselves another challenge. This one is called Dancer's Pose. I'll show it to you so you can see if you can guess the difference. The only difference between Dancer's Pose and airplane is that I hold on to my back flying foot. So, to get into this pose, I do a little bit of a different sequence. Just like when I would stretch my quadricep, which is my thigh muscle in front, I'm going to use my chair to show you, just so I can keep my balance. I reach behind me, and I hold on to my foot. Now, as I feel comfortable, I keep my foot in my hand, and I gently tip myself forward. Now I want to make sure that my hips are even. And then I kick in to my back foot and try and open up the pose. As you can see, it's normal to fall out of that pose. It's a super tricky one. And if you fall, you just get ready and reset and try again. So I reach behind me. Once I feel stable here, my arm goes forward. I lean forward and I kick my foot into my hand. how I'm going extra slow so that I can keep my focus and stability. And go ahead and bring yourself back down. You really want to shake out those legs because I'm sure you felt it on that one. Last but not least, let's turn to the other side and balance ourselves out. Reach behind you, kick up your opposite leg. Raise your other hand in the air. And when you feel nice and stable, make sure you press down evenly through your feet. When you feel nice and stable, gently start to tip yourself forward as you kick your foot into your hand and raise your back knee. Go as slow as you need to and really concentrate to keep that balance. Could you do it? If not, don't worry. Turns out you've got a lot of time right now to practice. You can practice these poses every day. There's some yoga poses that I've been practicing for years. And every single day, I can't do them, but I get a little bit better. That dancer's pose took me at least 6 months to be able to even balance while I tried it. And there's still little things that I'm working on. Because when you do mindful movement, what you'll realize is that there's always something that you can change and shift and that feels a little different in your body each time you do it. Great work. You did a really challenging sequence. And now it's time for some rest. So go ahead and find your special place. Sit back and relax. Breathe deeply and slowly. If you want to take a couple moments and find a special place for yourself, you can. I always like to have one place in my home or space that I go to that's just mine, where I can get calm and get my thoughts together and have some alone time. That might be tricky in your super small apartment, so even if you can't physically get away from someone, find a place that feels special to you, and then when you're there, press play and we'll finish this meditation together. For those of you who are ready now, close your eyes and go inside. Feel your breathing and let go of everything else. Imagine a place that is special to you. We've been stuck inside of our houses for a long time, so I'm sure there's a place that you're missing, that you haven't gotten to visit. Imagine that place. It's some place where you love to be. It may be outside in nature, inside a house, or from a picture or dream. For me, my special place that I like to go to is my garden. So when I close my mind for this meditation, I'm sitting in my garden at school, feeling the sunshine hit my face, smelling the smell of fresh plants and flowers, feeling the earth beneath me and the dirt in my hands. Notice what it looks like in your special place, what it smells like. Try and paint a picture in your mind that includes every detail. See the textures and hear the sounds. In this special place, it is peaceful and beautiful. You feel safe and loved, happy and relaxed. You can feel your heart and know your own mind. You are free to be yourself and decide who else can come in. In your special place in your mind, you can invite someone you love to join you, or you can just be there by yourself. Whatever you choose. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your body still. And just enjoy some time in this special place in your head. I'm going to enjoy some time in my special place in my head too. We'll take about a minute of special place time and then come together to close. hate to interrupt you, but gently wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing your awareness back to the sound of my voice. Remember, you can come back to this special place in your head because it's yours. Anytime you want or need it, you're always welcome to come here. All right, friends. That does it. Another week of PE. You did a great job. Remember, if you liked our sequence today, you can come back and do it again at a different time with your family, or not. The choice is yours. But I hope that you remember some of the poses and breath work that we did today, because those are tools that can help you throughout the week, regardless of what you're doing. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.